Hello everyone. Today I am going to discuss a topic called procurement. So to understand the meaning and the process of procurement, it's better to understand first the meaning of purchasing or the process of purchasing or the elements involved in purchasing. Then it becomes very much easier for us to understand the meaning, process and the elements of procurement. So coming on to it. What is purchasing? Purchasing is a set of tasks involved in buying goods and services. Purchasing involves the tasks such as ordering, raising purchase orders, receiving, and arranging payments. These components can also be considered in the process of purchasing or as the element of purchasing. Thus, purchasing and supply are the functions of procurement process. Purchasing is the act of physically ordering and buying something. Then steps in purchasing process. Steps in purchasing process are purchase order acknowledgement, advance shipment notice, goods received, invoice recording, three-way match, payment to supplier. Coming on to what is procurement. So procurement is the act of obtaining goods or services typically for the business purpose. Procurement is most commonly associated with businesses because companies needs to solicit services or purchase goods usually on a relatively larger scale. Thus, procurement involves the elements like added value, cost, inventory, logistics, purchasing, quality, supply. The process of procurement involves the 5-step process: determination of the requirement, requisition, purchase order, goods receipt or invoice received, invoice verification or vendor payment. So these are the 5 steps where it has been involved in procurement, which we will be discussing in the later slides in detail. Now coming on to comparison of procurement and purchasing. Procurement is the overall function that describes the activities and process to acquire goods and services. Importantly and distinct from purchasing, procurement involves the activities involved in establishing fundamental requirements, sourcing activities such as market research, vendor evaluation, negotiations and contract. It also includes purchasing activities required to order and receive the goods. Whereas purchasing refers to the process of ordering and receiving goods and services. It is always considered that purchasing is the subset of the procurement process, which includes the elements like request, approval, creation of the purchase orders, and receipt of the goods, and then making the final payment for the goods receipt. In the tabular differentiation, the process of the procurement and purchasing can be differentiated. Procurement includes in detail 10 steps, whereas purchase includes 6 steps. Procurement identifies the needs. After identifying the needs, they do a research on the suppliers or the source suppliers. After that, they create a list of the suppliers and issue the request for quotation to those suppliers, evaluate the quotes which has been received from the suppliers, then negotiate on the contracts, and then receive the product and services. After receiving the product and services, they do a quality check, verify the quality and all, and then they analyze the key performance indicators with the suppliers, and then they try whether they have to build a long-term relationship with these suppliers or the contract has to be ended here only. Then purchasing involves 6 steps, where first receiving of purchase requisitions, evaluating the request for quotations, then creating the purchase orders, receipt of the product or services, questions and answers on the product and services, and then the final payments to the suppliers. Coming on to in detail differences on the basis of various grounds. What is the first ground? What is the end goal? End goal of a procurement is to identify the needs of the company and try to fulfill. That is proactive. Whereas purchasing, the end goal is a reactive process. That is what company needs then and there. It can be purchased, or whether it's a goods or a services. Then how goods and services are assessed? Places are much more given importance to the process of procurement, whereas in purchasing much more importance is being given to price. Then when it's deployed, involves end-to-end activities, that is from the requisition to the payment. It involves each and every activity. Whereas in purchasing, it gets involved when it's time to buy goods and services, only that particular time. Then tasks involved, everything is involved. That is recognition to sourcing, contract closure, record keeping, everything is included in the process of procurement. Whereas in purchasing, the three main steps are involved, which are ordering, expediting, and making of the final payment. Then how it deals with suppliers, it focuses, procurement focuses on creating long-term relationships, whereas purchasing focuses on the short-term relationship of just getting or purchasing the goods or services for that time period. It does not creates a transactional focus for creating a long-term relationship. So I hope in a descriptive you would have understood what is purchasing, what is procurement. Thank you. That's all.